props to the healthcare workers on the island because they're able to work in those conditions, and I highly admire them for that. Oh my god, it is 4:54. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Today is February 2nd. I cannot believe it's already February. That's crazy. And it is currently 6:32 in the morning. As you guys saw, I literally woke up at like 4:50. I set my alarm originally for 4:30 because I knew it would take me a while to actually wake up for 5 o'clock, because today we are going on my first rotation. I'm so excited. This isn't the official rotations that you do in 3rd or 4th year. These are rotations that are required from our ICM department, so our introduction to clinical medicine. They require us to do 2 rotations per the semester, so that is going to be really exciting. Today I have my community clinic rotation, and the second one is a hospital rotation. So I'm going to have the hospital rotation later on in the semester when they schedule me, but today we are going on a community clinic rotation. I'm really excited because I haven't visited any of the hospitals or the clinics here, so I'm interested to see how it actually looks here in Antigua, and I'm so excited. We're going to be going in groups of 3 to different clinics. I believe there are 5 groups that are going today. I'll get more into the details of that later on and explain how the entire process works. But first, because it is 6:30, I do have to leave here at 7:15 to go to school because we are required to be there at 7:45. My bus leaves at 7:45. We are required to use the AUA transportation system, so we can't use our own transport to get to the clinic and hospital. So I have to make sure I get there early. I woke up early because I needed to make sure I did my morning routine, brushed my teeth, took my shower. I laid out my clothes on my bed because we do have to look very professional here. I woke up early so I was able to eat, because if you guys have been on my channel for a good while now, you guys would have seen at my previous med school, we did have a rotation in our 4th semester, and it was a surgery rotation, and it did not go well. I actually fainted right in the surgery room twice before anything happened. If you guys want to see that experience, I will put it up here on the link so you guys can go and watch that. But we are making sure that doesn't happen because I felt like I didn't have a proper breakfast, because all I had that morning was a granola bar. And also I felt like I didn't get enough sleep that night, and I just needed to be a lot more hydrated because that room was really hot for a surgery room, and honestly the procedure didn't even start before I even fainted. So yeah, I definitely have to go eat some breakfast. I'm gonna go make some coffee, have some waffles so I can have something solid in my stomach and not a granola bar. So we're gonna go and make some breakfast, and then I'm gonna explain to you guys the entire procedure of how the rotations work here at AUA. But first, if you guys love watching my channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, turn on your post notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get right on with our day. Okay, so I have my coffee and I have my waffles, and I just realized I only have about 10 to 15 minutes to finish my breakfast, and then I have to start getting ready because it is almost 7 o'clock and I really want to leave here by 7:15 in order to drive there and have enough time to wait for the bus, because this semester they are very strict with the timing. So there are about, I think, 5 or 6 groups leaving today for the community rotations, and there is a bus that leaves at 7:30 for a certain area, and there's another bus that leaves at 7:45. So I always like to get there early. Let's go ahead and finish my breakfast, and then I'm gonna start to get ready. Okay, this is my outfit. I have my dress pants all ironed. I have a nice dress shirt. We can't wear any hand jewelry, so I didn't bother wearing any rings, and our hair has to be up. This is what we are going with. I'm gonna fix my hair afterwards. I have to change the hair tie. Now we have to go. It is 7:17. I really have to get out of the house. Okay guys, we made it. I made it. Guys, we are on the bus to go to our rotation. It's been a busy, crazy morning, but we are on the bus on the way there. Hey guys, so we're here at our first clinic rotation at the community clinic. I'm really excited. I have my white coat and everything, and I'm really nervous. The wind also messed up my hair. So my hair is already starting to frizz up because there's no AC in this place. We are just kind of waiting for the supervisor nurse to come and tell us what to do. The patients have already started to come in. We're just standing and just waiting for further instructions until we actually know what to do. So I'm really excited, but I'm also really nervous. So yeah, let's see where this day goes. So I'm currently in the doctor's office just shadowing her. She just left with the patient and it's been pretty exciting seeing how they interact. And it's also really hot. My hair is like frizzing up like crazy. But that was pretty cool. It's like a pretty cool interaction seeing how she corresponds with the patient. I was even able to ask some questions. So I'm excited to see what else we can do. So it's a little after 11 o'clock. We have finished most of the stuff. We basically shadowed the doctor. We took vitals. We did the blood pressure. We took oxygen. I was in charge of telling the weight. So I had the patients come on the weight scale and I basically just told them the weight, and it was pretty exciting. And then afterwards we saw an ulcer change, which was pretty cool, from a diabetic patient, and that was pretty unique because I've never seen diabetic ulcers on the feet. And right now we have some layover time, so we've just been chilling here until the bus comes. And it's also really hot. I'm like sweating, my hair is like frizzy, but it's been a pretty productive day. So we finally officially left the clinic. There it is right there in the background. It was a very interesting experience, but yeah, I cannot wait to tell you guys all about my day. Now we're gonna go and pick up all the other groups because they went to different clinics. We were the first to be dropped off and now we're the first to be picked up, and then we're headed back to campus after we pick up everyone else from their clinics. This is the second clinic that the other students went. I believe they probably would have had AC. Hey guys, so we are back from the rotation. It currently is 11:50. We took the bus back. We picked up the other group. It was only 2 groups per bus, but basically there was I think 5 or 6 different groups going to clinical rotations today. It wasn't that long. We got picked up around 7:45 and then we went to the clinic, and it was like a very interesting experience because these clinics aren't the same as the clinics back home in the States or Canada. They are very islandy. They don't really have that many resources, but my experience today was overall very positive. One, I'd like to say that I did not faint, which was amazing. I made sure to eat, stay hydrated, but I will say at the clinic there was no AC. Like, they had fans running, so I am very sweaty, especially with the white coat. It was so hot. Thankfully I wore this like very thin kind of like dress shirt, but it was very hot. I was sweating. It was just excruciating. Props to the healthcare workers on the island because they're able to work in those conditions, and I highly admire them for that because it is very irritating a little bit, because when you're seeing a lot of patients it can get very hot, but kudos to them because they're doing such a good job. Everyone at that clinic was super nice. We did have a lot of waiting time around because when we had gotten there the nurses weren't even there. It was kind of closed, so when we got in it was kind of confusing as to where we actually had to go, but thankfully everyone was very nice. The nurse who was there at the time, she said we had to wait for the supervisor nurse to actually get there to the clinic so that way they can give us instructions on what to do. So we were basically standing around for like 15 to 20 minutes, probably close to half an hour, and we were just watching them triage patients, so taking their blood pressure, their oxygen, just like their basic vitals. And there was quite a lot of people there at the clinic, and everyone was like very nice and kind. We did have a little mishap at the beginning because when we had walked in we didn't say good morning to some of the patients that were waiting outside, which is very customary in the Caribbean culture to say good morning. I always say good morning to people, like people can vouch, I always say hi to everyone, but we were just so focused on getting to the clinic on time and just finding out what we had to do. We didn't even realize that we didn't like greet the patients out because they were waiting outside the clinic, because at the time when we arrived the clinic was closed, so they were just waiting outside, and when we had walked we had passed them, but we were just so concerned and focused on what we had to do that we didn't even realize. So we went outside afterwards and apologized to them, and everything was like pretty fine. We met a patient who apparently worked in the UK and was a neurosurgeon and was living here for 40 years, so that was actually pretty interesting. Like, just imagine being a neurosurgeon and afterwards retiring and just like living on the island for the next 40 years. So that was pretty interesting to know. So afterwards, once the supervisor nurse came in, they told us we were able to go into this room and we just started taking vitals. So I was in charge of taking the patient's weight, and I just stood like right outside the office, and it was hot because there was no fans in the hallway. And then my other 2 members in my group, they were basically taking the oxygen saturation and the blood pressure. They were using like the automatic blood pressure cuff, so they just had to like read what the machine was saying. And then afterwards we kind of switched roles, so then the doctor came in. She was super nice. I absolutely loved loved her. She was amazing. So when she had come in, we had went into her office and we started to shadow her. So we were just watching her interact with the patient, asking questions. She even showed us their chart as well and was explaining what each one was in the chart, and I thought that was like pretty cool. And then afterwards we got to go into another room and watch a diabetic patient show us her foot ulcers, and she was amazing. She was actually the patient that I shadowed with the doctor, so I knew her history pretty well, and I was just asking her a ton of questions like, how long did you have the ulcers, does diabetes run in your family, basically all the stuff they had taught us in ICM. It just started clicking to me, and I was just so invested in her entire history, because when I saw the foot ulcers, I'd never seen foot ulcers in my life before, so it was pretty shocking seeing how it was. And we got to see how they were able to wrap it and everything, and the doctor was also explaining to us about a little bit of her history and like what she had to go through and why she was here. So that was so interesting. And then afterwards we went back, we took some more vitals for patients, and that was about it. And then they told us we were able to relax around 11 o'clock, so we just sat around, talked. We did bring our iPads to study because we were told from the group yesterday there was going to be a little bit of lead time, but it was just so hot I couldn't open my iPad and study. Like, I was sweating. Like, I really feel like I need to go shower. And yeah, I'm just so exhausted. Like, it was fun though. Like, I'm not tired like I want to like pass out, but a good nap would be good. But I had overall a really good experience. I feel like this rotation was a whole lot better than my last one, and I'm glad it was a community rotation as well. And everyone there was like super nice, and overall I had like a really good time. And then the bus was here to pick us up, so they did let us know that the bus was here. So during the entire semester we have to do 2 rotations, one in the community clinic and one in the hospital. This was our community clinic rotation, so we won't have our hospital one for another 2 or 3 weeks. For this rotation we don't have to submit any documents or anything. It was just for a mark for our ICM class. For the hospital rotation we do have to submit a SOAP note, so it's basically just saying, like, I guess just following a patient and such. We'll probably receive more information once we get closer to our hospital rotation, but for that one I am really excited. They also did give us like an N95 mask to wear at the hospital, so I'm really excited for that. And the hospital is air conditioned. I'm really looking forward to that. So apart from doing the rotations, prior to, we did have to get our immunizations up to date, and we had to make sure everything was signed up before we were able to go to the clinic, because you do have to make sure like your vaccinations are up to date, that you do your blood work and everything's all good before you're actually scheduled for rotations. For this semester for our ICM class, we just had 2 rotations, and then we have our ICM labs where we actually go over the patient's history, go over different labs such as peripheral or GI, stuff like that. And then we also have 2 quizzes, and we also have a lot of sim labs. So they're called sim/TPC. I honestly don't know much about it because I haven't had it yet. Mine's is actually next week, so I have TPC and sim lab next week, and I also have my ICM class again, my second ICM class, and it's basically back to back. So Thursday is my sim at TPC, and the next is my ICM class on Friday. So I'm really excited to know like what it is. I feel like it's more of like a simulation. One of them we're going to be dealing with real patients and taking a patient history, and the other one it's kind of like we have like a dummy set out and we have to follow like a bunch of procedures. So I'll definitely let you guys know how those labs go, because I'm really excited because we never had a sim or a TPC lab, and I honestly don't know what they stand for. I'm really looking forward to that as well. But overall, my clinic rotation here actually went really well, and I'm just glad about the experience that I had. And it kind of makes me a little bit more motivated to actually study and know this stuff, because as she was talking about, I was kind of recalling all the things that we had learned previously, and that's what I was kind of asking questions on. So it really helped knowing all the fundamental information that they teach you in class for the rotation. So it definitely gives me a lot of motivation to study, because our first exam is on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. So I definitely am looking forward to studying, because I do have a lot to catch up, because I'm so behind on lectures, because Med 3 is just so much content. Like, it is a lot of content because they are introducing pharmacology, they're introducing pathology, so like there's a lot of basic info that we need to know. It definitely is a lot, but today is going to be a catch up. I'm not going to go to lecture today because lecture is from 1 to 6. I'm just going to catch up on my notes from last week and use that time to catch up on my lectures on the weekend. Hopefully today it's going to be pretty jam-packed, so I'm really excited to get through all this material. Without further ado, I think that was about it that I had from today. So I hope you guys did enjoy this vlog on my first rotation at the community clinic here in Antigua. I really did enjoy it, and it was such a great experience. Now I am ready to head home, change out of these clothes, drink a lot of water, have a good snack, probably take a nap, and then start studying again. So I hope you guys did enjoy this vlog. As always, you guys love watching my channel. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, turn on your post notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.